All right. Hello. How are you? I would love to know who's joining me today. If you're joining me live, let me know. You can just say hi in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay and in the comments, and I'll know that you watched the video. Okay. Today's topic is about how to know if you are a food drama queen and what to do about it. Um, because you guys know that I always give you tips. I don't just leave you hanging. I give you helpful strategies, doable strategies that you can do yourself to help you with whatever topic we're talking about, right? So, today is for you if you waste precious time agonizing over what you should eat because you're afraid to make the wrong decision. How many of you do that? Like, um, do you worry? Do you stress over food decisions a lot? Like, well, I really want this, but I know it's not what I should choose. I should eat this. Do you stress over that? Do you, you know, agonize over it or make it like a big deal? Um, If so, today is for you. And it's also for you if you feel guilty every time you eat something that you feel like isn't the best for you. You feel like, you know, you shouldn't have chosen. Uh, Today is for you if that's you. So if that sounds like you are a food drama queen. Um, Even though you may not want to believe it or admit it, you are a food drama queen if you stress and agonize and you know make yourself feel bad over the choices that you make. And so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to also give you some solutions that you can start putting into practice in your life to help you with these issues. So I was a food drama queen. Um, Back in my 20s, I used to create so much drama when it came to food, when I was trying to get healthy and kick my sugar addiction. Like back when I in my 20s, when I realized that I actually had an issue with sugar, and I was trying to get healthy, and I would try all these like diets and different things to try to get healthy. I was such a drama queen when it came to food because I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to do the wrong thing, and I ended up causing myself a lot more stress than I should have um, back then. So, uh, you know, I would feel guilty like when I wouldn't stay on plan, and when I would like cheat. I don't use that now, but back then I would have, and I would just beat myself up about it, and I just never felt good about you know my choices and things. I would always, find something wrong with what I did or what I ate or whatever if I messed up. And little did I know that by stressing about food so much, I was actually causing my cortisol and my blood sugar to raise by stressing about it so much. So I was causing myself so much stress that it was actually it was taking a toll on my health because stress raises cortisol. That's the stress hormone, and then it was also raising my blood sugar because stress has a huge impact on blood sugar, and so stress and high cortisol and high blood sugar, that's like the perfect recipe for gaining fat and developing metabolic issues. And that's exactly what I did to myself. You know, And if I had just not stressed so much, it probably wouldn't have gotten to the point that it did, you know. So by my mid 30s, I had consistently high blood sugar that was in the diabetes range. And it was harder and harder for me to lose weight. And I also had high triglycerides. And um, and yes, this can be caused from what we're eating, but it also, stress also has a huge impact. Stress and our cortisol level has a huge impact on this as well. That's basically what I did. I created the perfect recipe for me to have diabetes and make it really hard for me to lose weight. Um, but what I learned from getting that wake up call and needing to figure out how to reverse my high blood sugar was that was life changing for me. It changed my whole life. And when I say that, I I mean it because I literally have a different life now than I did 6 years ago. And I contribute that all um, to this wake up call that I got 6 years ago, where I had gestational diabetes and I had to literally figure out um, what I needed to do, how I needed to change my lifestyle to to overcome this, to have normal blood sugar again. And that led me on a path to, it led me on my own health journey that I didn't realize I needed to go on. And then it also led me to actually helping others with that as well. Like it, it was my testimony. It was what I feel like I was being called to help people with, help others with. And so, literally, when I say it changed my life, it really did change my life. Like, I have a different life than I did just 6 years ago. Um, and not only that, I have a new, like, I have a perspective and an outlook on food that I never had before, and I never would have had if I hadn't have gone through this whole journey of health and really understanding, the way food works and how my body works and the blood sugar stuff and just how we gain weight, how we lose weight, and all these things. It really gave me a new perspective, a new outlook, and an understanding that I never had before. So, um, the way that I think about food now has ended that food drama for me. And it's helped me feel more in control um, around food, around the foods that I love. It's helped me have more control instead of them controlling me. Like, I used to feel very out of control whenever I would be in a situation um, where I would be around my favorite foods. And for me, that was sweets. And I would just feel like I just had to have it no matter what. And I felt out of control around it. But now I can be in situations, and if I decide I don't want it, I can I can not have it and be fine and not have any drama around that, Like, I feel totally in control around my favorite foods. Um, instead of them controlling me. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you to feel that you have the same control over the foods that you love. And I'm not saying that you can't have them, that you should try to feel in control of them so you never eat them again. I want you to feel in control around the foods that you love, your favorite foods, so you can enjoy them occasionally, but not feel like you have to. You know, you get to make that decision. That food doesn't get to make that decision. You do. So I hope that makes sense. And um, so let's talk about how to end food drama and feel in control so you can actually enjoy food again and not have so much stress around it. So put a heart emoji in the comments if that sounds like something you want. Just let me know. All right, so let's get into the strategies. Oh, what happened? I'm sorry, you guys, my screen went blank. What happened? All right, I hope I'm still on camera. Oh, there I am. Okay, it just went blank for me for a minute. Okay. Let's get into the first strategy. So the first strategy I want to talk about is to have a healthy eating strategy or plan, but don't strive for perfection. So, in order to move towards your health goals, you need some sort of plan. You can't just wing good health. And you guys know I've said that before. I've talked about it. You can't just wing good health. It just won't happen. You have to have some sort of plan. And I'm not saying that your plan has to be my plan. It doesn't have to be your friend's plan or your family member's plan. It needs to be a plan that works for you. But you've got to have some kind of realistic plan. Um, so that you have some kind of strategy, so that you know what you're doing, so that you know how to get to the goal that you want, right? But I don't want you to strive for perfection with that. So when you have a health plan that you're following, when we try to go all in and do it 100% and try to be perfect and not make any mistakes, first of all, that's very stressful. It creates a lot of drama, because you have times where you may not want to eat what's on your plan, right? You have you have things in your life that where there may not be the right food available. And that's why we cannot strive for perfection, because when we strive for perfection, it makes life really just stressful, and going out and being social and going to events and spending time with people, that makes it more stressful, more dramatic, because we we feel like we can't sway from this plan. And so what I'm saying is, have a plan but be more flexible, right? So I strive for 80% most of the time. You guys know this. I've talked about it a lot. But some weeks I don't have that much going on. And so I can sometimes I get to 90%, and I'm like, okay, I did like 90-10. I ate 90% whole foods and only 10% more processed foods. And then some weeks I only get to 50-50, like on vacation. I really don't strive to get to 80% on vacation. I know it's going to be more of a 50-50 on vacation. And I don't beat myself up about it. Like, I just, it is what it is. But I think as long as you are staying on plan the majority of the time, then you will eventually hit your health goals, right? So if you're striving for 80% instead of 100%, like whatever your plan is for your goals, uh, you're going to eventually get there. Now, you may not get there as fast as if you're being perfect and doing 100%, right? But is that realistic? Is that realistic for your life and your lifestyle and the activities that you do? Is striving for 100% realistic, or is it more realistic to strive for 80% and have a little leeway in there, so that you can feel like, a normal person, and you can eat normal food and not have to like cut out food groups and do all these substitutions when you go to a restaurant and stuff. And if you do, that's fine too, if you want to. But then, I feel like you can also make that choice to not always do that, right? So that's just what I mean by have a plan, but don't strive for perfection with it. Strive for at least 80% most of the time. And then you're going to have those weeks like vacation where you're not going to get to 80%. And that's okay. Like, um, and then you're going to have weeks where you don't do much and you might hit 90%, and that's great too. But you will eventually hit your goals as long as you have a plan and you stick with it most of the time, right? So that's just what I want to get across. Um, and so for me, my focus was to get my blood sugar to a normal range again consistently. And I did that, and still to this day, um balanced blood sugar is my main focus because I did have gestational diabetes, and so I am more at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. Um and so is my daughter. And so we, like, for me and her, which she doesn't know it, she has no idea. I don't talk about blood sugar with her. But, our lifestyle is kind of set up to, my focus is on us having balanced blood sugar, right? So that we don't later on in life develop type 2 diabetes. So that is my focus. And that's what my plan focuses on. It's around. So yours may be weight loss or, getting stronger, muscle gain, whatever it is. You might have another health issue that you want to get under control or reverse or prevent. Maybe it runs in your family. Whatever your main focus is, that's what your plan needs to consider. And and if you can do that most of the time, 80% of the time at least, then you will hit your health goals. You will reverse your health issues. You will lose weight. You will, get stronger if that's what you want to do, gain muscle, whatever it is. Uh, if you can stick to your plan most of the time. And so, so as long as I'm prioritizing whole foods at least 80% of my week, my blood sugar stays in a normal range. And that is my goal. And the reason I don't strive for 100% is because I did that for years, and it always ended up in me feeling deprived and then binging on everything that was off limits, that I put off limits for myself. So that wasn't good. That wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy for my mental health, or my body when I would go through severe restriction and then binge. That wasn't good either. That's not good for my health, my mental health, or anything. Um, and I see this all the time when people strive for perfection with their eating. And I get clients that's what they want to do. They want to go all in and strive for perfection. And when I teach them this way, it's like, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that it could be this simple. I didn't know it could be this easy, just to, strive for 80% instead of 100%. And they end up hitting their goals, but also sticking with it because it's realistic, right? Um, so striving for 100% or for perfection is not realistic. And you usually there's a breaking point where you end up just quitting altogether. And I want you to avoid that. I want you to have a long-term plan um, that you can actually do, that's realistic, that you can do with your lifestyle. And that's why I say don't strive for perfection, but just strive for at least 80%. Um, so when we strive for 80%, then you're less likely to feel guilty when you do eat pizza one night, or you have some cake at a birthday party, then, you don't beat yourself up when you're like, okay, well, this is okay because I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for 80%. Um, so when your favorite treats are allowed, when they're not off limits on your plan, then little by little, that food guilt starts to disappear. And so that is what I want you to, that's the first tip, is to have a plan that doesn't strive for perfection and allows you to have some of your favorite foods on occasion so you don't get into that deprivation feeling and then just quit and binge like I did. I don't want you to get into that. So have a plan and don't strive for perfection. Okay, the next strategy that to end the food drama is to learn what foods make you feel your best. And uh, so when you eat a bowl of oatmeal, how do you feel an hour later? Or when you drink a protein shake, how do you feel afterwards? When you eat eggs, how does that make you feel? Start recognizing how different foods and different meals make you feel. I want you to start trying to recognize, does this make me feel good, or does this make me feel hungry? Does this satisfy me for hours, or do I feel hungry an hour later? Start noticing how foods make you feel. Do some foods give you a lot of digestive issues or stomach issues, or do you feel really good? Do you not have bloating or heartburn or indigestion and stuff? Think, when after you eat, think about how these foods are making you feel. And that's how you can discover what foods make you feel your best, right? And a lot of us just don't take the time. We just shove it in our mouth because we're busy and we don't have time to really sit and focus on our food and eat it. And so I want you to try to do that more often. I want you to try to just see how these foods actually make you feel. Um, so, like, ask yourself, when you eat or after you eat, do you feel hungry an hour later? Do you feel full for hours? Do you feel sluggish or tired? Um, or do you feel focused? Do some foods make you focus better than others? When you know what foods make you feel your best, and when you can make that connection, you will start reaching for the foods that make you feel your best more often. So for me, I discovered that protein makes me feel full and satisfied and gives me energy, right? And vegetables make me feel happy because they give me more variety. They're colorful and they add like a crunchy texture to my meal. And sweets make me happy too, but they don't make me feel my best. And that's why I reserve them for like just occasions, right? Occasional treats, because I know, like, in the moment they make me happy, but in the long run, they don't make me as happy, and they don't make me feel satisfied for a long time like protein does, or like fiber, vegetables, things like that with nutrition in them. So once you figure this out, then you'll start to naturally choose these foods, because, if okay, this breakfast makes me feel good, and you know, I can, it holds me over until lunchtime. What breakfast do you think you're gonna choose more often? The one that, satisfies you longer, right? Because you don't want to be hungry in an hour when you got all this stuff to do. right? So you'll just start natural, like, okay, I know this breakfast makes me feel better. This one is good, but it only, I'm usually hungry in an hour or two if I eat this. So you're gonna start naturally, once you know these foods that make you feel good, you'll start naturally choosing those when you want to feel good, when you have a busy day and you don't have time to just be eating all the time, right? Um, and for me, like, I just don't wanna think about food that much, I don't wanna think about having. So I want you to start noticing and become more aware of how foods make you feel. If you're having coffee every day at 2 p.m. because you feel sluggish, that is a sign that your lunch is not giving you the energy you need to do what you need to do. It could be that your lunch is deficient in a nutrient that you are really needing, that your body is really needing, and or that you're overdoing it on something that's causing you to feel tired, and then that's why you're starting this habit of, needing a cup of coffee at 2 p.m. because you didn't nourish your body correctly at lunch, and now you're having to depend on this caffeine to get you through the day. So hopefully that makes sense. So figure out what foods make you feel your best. That is tip number two. And then this last little tip I want to share with you um, is if you do end up eating something that you didn't plan on, or you end up overeating on something, please don't beat yourself up, okay? Because like, the best thing to do in that moment is to fully enjoy that food and then just to move on. Like, if you're on a plan and you're like, oh, I'm not going to have dessert tonight, and then you end up having dessert, don't beat yourself up about it. Just enjoy it and move on, and try. This is a health journey. This is what we're doing. We're practicing, we're trying to get better. It's not that we're trying to be perfect at it. We're just trying to get a little bit better over time and build these healthy habits, right? And so if you mess up, if you do something that was not on your plan, that you did not plan to do, don't beat yourself up about it, because you're just going to end up stressing yourself out, raising your cortisol, raising your blood sugar, and then it's going to be that much harder to uh, to lose weight or do whatever you want, reverse your health issues. It's going to be that much harder when your stress is high, when your cortisol is high, when your blood sugar is high. So just enjoy it. If that's what something you really want and you didn't plan on having it, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty. Just enjoy it and move on. Just move on and get back on track. Um, and because, that only makes things worse. And, you did it, you ate it, forget it, and move on. That's what I say. So don't feel guilty. So, you guys, if you're saying, I don't even have an eating plan, or I don't know where to start, that's what I can help you with. That's what I do. And I offer a personalized nutrition blueprint. That's what I call it. And it tells you exactly what you should eat more of, eat some of, and eat less of, based on answers to the questions that I ask you. So I ask you several questions to kind of get to know, what are your goals? What are your health issues? What what's your lifestyle like? All of these different questions that I ask you to make your personalized nutrition blueprint. And then that way, exactly, I don't think of foods as like good or bad. That's not how my blueprint is, or like, you can only eat this, or here's your plan. No, I have, these lists of foods that, based on your answers to your questions, this is what you should eat more of. This is what you can eat some of, and this is what you should eat less of, just on occasion, if you want to hit your health goals. And so it's a lot more flexible of a plan than some plans you see out there that are like, eat this for dinner, eat this for lunch, this for breakfast, this for snack. It's more flexible. I don't Because I know for me, like, if I had a real rigid plan and I didn't want to eat that for dinner, or I had somewhere to go and you're telling me I got to make this, meal, and I don't have time, then how realistic is that plan going to be? How long do you think I'll stay on that plan? Probably not long. And that's why mine is more flexible. It's personalized. I don't put foods on there that you don't like. I don't tell you to eat foods that you don't like. And it's really personalized to your lifestyle and what you want. It's not a one size fits all thing. So I don't make the plan. That's not a ready made plan. It's a plan that I only do once I have all your answers to the questions that I ask you. So anyway, um, this blueprint has been so valuable to so many people because they finally get the answers to the questions that they've always wondered, right? Like, how much should I be eating? What are the best foods for my body? What do I need to do to accomplish my health goals? And that's just to name a few questions that this plan answers. It just really gives you a blueprint and something to go by, and it's just been so valuable to my clients uh to because they just had no idea where to start, right? They had no idea how many calories they should be eating, how much protein, how much fat, how many carbs, what foods are great for the goals that they want, all of these different things. And so the best part is that, the like I said before, the blueprint is totally personalized to you and your goals and your lifestyle. I don't make some unrealistic plan. If you are on the go all the time, I'm not going to have you cooking a bunch of hour-long meals. And then some people's plans, they don't like to cook at all, and so there's no cooking involved. I just give them foods that they can eat on the go all the time. Um, and so it's very personalized, and you don't have to try to fit it into your lifestyle. I fit it into I fit the plan into what you tell me your lifestyle is, right? It's a plan that works with your lifestyle, not against it. You don't have to try to fit it into your lifestyle. It's gonna be the what's best for what you already have um, established your lifestyle is, right? Um, because your lifestyle is your lifestyle, and I believe that the most sustainable way to build health is having a plan that works for your lifestyle. So if it's too complicated, you won't do it, right? If it's too time consuming, you won't do it if you're busy. And if it doesn't fit in with your lifestyle, then you won't do it either. So, and I know that, and I always consider that when I'm making these blueprints for people. So, guys, if that sounds like something that you want to do, um, then I'm going to leave a link in the comments for my blueprint. So you can click that link and learn more about it. And if you have any other questions, once you click it and you read about what it's all about, if you think of any other questions that you have about it, you can just feel free to message me, and I will answer those questions for you. Um, but anyways, guys, I hope that this was valuable to you. I hope that you take these strategies and start learning how to have less food drama in your life so you can reduce your stress about food and so that you can enjoy food more without all the drama. So I hope you take these tips and apply them, take action on them. And I really appreciate you guys joining me today. And I will see you next week. All right. Bye, guys.